Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm not entirely sure how this is going to go. I don't know what the hell Jrock is going to bring up on TikTok, but we're going to find out together. Hopefully I can use literally any of it. Now, if you're wondering why I'm doing a Jrock tag on TikTok reaction videos, because I got into this through Jrock. I was listening to goth music just through a Japanese filter. Jrock is such a broad term. There was stuff from like post-punk sounding stuff, there was gothic rock sounding stuff, there was black metal sounding stuff, there was metalcore sounding stuff, there was nu metal sounding stuff. It was such a broad term. Jrock was such an unbelievably broad umbrella term for so many different kinds of music, which is why it was so difficult for me to tell people what I listened to, because it was everything. Hell, even the bands themselves would vary drastically from album to album, so it was such a widely diverse culture and community to be a part of. Now remember, before we get into it, if you'd like to watch the extended version of this video that was released yesterday with all the music and all the swear words left in, then click join or join the Patreon and you can get access to the playlist where I save all of these extended videos. A fan cam, yay! So, Jrock was accompanied by this concept, this fashion style that was referred to as VK, or visual K. K just meaning style in Japanese. And there was a massive emphasis on men dressing like women as well, which is why I also had quite a drastic cross-dressing period in my life as well. I was basically just mimicking the kind of stuff that I saw in Visual K in Jrock. All my favorite bands back then were doing that. And Visual K had a very specific style to it. It was kind of like 80s American rocker look, but put through like a very Japanese feminized style, and it was quite unique, and I really loved it. It was very, very difficult to get clothes that look like that over here. Again, this is how I found punk rave, because they used to do that kind of stuff. But no matter how feminine, how fishy they looked, it was always a man dressed as a woman. And I was deeply obsessed with it. I was obsessed with the androgynous look. I used to do it all the time. I've done it before on this channel. I don't do it so much anymore, but I might maybe, nah, do you know, I'm too jacked, it would look ridiculous. See, that was the other thing, you had to have the body for it. And in case you haven't noticed, most Jrockers are super, super slim. Like the majority of Japanese people, actually. Lonesome Blue, I can honestly say I've never heard of him. That sounds like baby metal. I was curious as to the effect baby metal had on the Jrock scene over in Japan. Ah, Picarin! If you want to hear these songs, by the way, then become a member, and then you can listen to this music with me, and I won't have to cut it out. I was actually curious watching this because I wanted to see if they have Unlucky Morpheus, because Unlucky Morpheus, I discovered them a couple of years ago, and they're phenomenal. They're super, super good. I've not had this much fun listening to a Jrock band since I discovered Galnarius, or Galnaris, that sort of Japanese power metal band who were super good. And they changed their singer and I never listened to them again. And Unlucky Morpheus kind of reminds me of like a female fronted version of that band. So I had so much fun listening to them. See how like now I'm way more interested in talking about the music, because like this was the music that got me into being the person I am today. It was like 2007, 2008. And I discovered Deer and Grey, and then it was from there just into it, dude. I found what I was looking for. Just my whole world was blown wide open. But the thing is that a lot of people assume that if you're into like Japanese culture, if you're one of those weebs, they assume you got into it because of the anime. And that's the problem I always had, was just like, oh, you like Japanese? What's your favorite anime? It's like, I don't like anime. There are so many animes that are just 2 seasons of 12 episodes, so 24 shit f***ing episodes where majority is complete filler and has nothing to do with anything, because manga studios basically pay for animes to be made as a way to advertise the manga. So you'd watch an anime and be like, oh my god, I love the characters and the music and the voice acting, it's so amazing, the story is so great. Oh, it's over. And then they're not making more? Oh, that's it? Oh, they've got manga? Okay, let me read the manga. And then the manga's all black and gray and has nothing to do with the anime that you just watched, because the story's entirely different. So the character that you loved in the anime is completely different in the manga. You can't hear them talk. It's very difficult in a lot of cases to follow what the fuck is going on. And once I figured this out, that anime for the most part is just an advert for the manga, which is not as good as the anime in a lot of cases, or at least it's so different to the anime that you're not as into it. You're just kind of like, oh, well, I don't want to watch anime anymore because it's just all disappointing. There was only one anime that I loved so much that I did end up getting the manga and I read all of it, and that was Rosario Vampire. I really loved the anime, and then they just never released anymore, and it was like left on a cliffhanger. So then I went and I bought the manga, and the manga is completely degenerate. It's awful. The 11-year-old witch girl, I think it's like Yukari or something like that, becomes like a sex-crazed nymphomaniac. It's disgusting. Whereas in the anime, she's not that bad. She's not as bad as she's presented in the... And I was like, I don't want anything to do with any of this. This is disgusting. But no, I got into Japanese culture because of the music, because of Jrock, because I discovered Deer and Grey through Kerrang! Magazine, and I decided to look up who that was, and I was like, damn, this band's awesome. And it's the same with, like, if I listen to a certain Japanese band, they're like, oh, because they did the music to that anime, and I was like, I like this band because I discovered them by doing deep dives into Jrock and finding bands that I liked. And I'd be like, yeah, I like Maximum the Hormone and Canon Wakashima, and people are like, oh, so you like Vampire Knight and Death Note? I'm like, what? No, I don't know what those are. So I've always had this really weird relationship with anime because I've been into Japanese culture and the language for almost 20 years now, and almost none of it has involved anime. And that confuses the shit out of people. Obviously inspired by the Rookie neck makeup that Rookie's been doing since like forever. But I immediately feel so much more associated with the Jrock tag. Like so much more. I can see so much more of me. It's so much more relatable to me. I could never get a good Jrock look. It just never looked good on me. I couldn't get my hair to look like it. I just couldn't do it. J-Fashion, man. J-Fashion was an absolute fascination of mine. I used to love it so much, and it was so difficult to get it. And because my body type was not a thin Japanese person's body type, it never quite looked good on me, and that always used to piss me off. Buck tick. See, this is another thing as well that a lot of people were not aware of because so many people they didn't know what Jrock was. Some of the most attractive people ever to exist are in Jrock. They're from Jrock. I can't remember this guy's name, but he's from Bucktick. Unbelievable standards of beauty. And again, because I was nowhere close to it. Like, I used to worship Miyabi. I have an undercut because I worshipped Miyabi. I was upset. Like, I have some photos here, and these are photos of me trying to look like Miyabi. I think this is the closest I ever got to looking Jrock. I've seen him twice. I saw him live twice. Fucking hell. Astounding. I could never get that good. I got to a point with my guitar playing. I got very good, but like guitar playing now is just unreachable standards of skill. I can't get anywhere close to this. I mean, I could. I just don't have the time. I used to have all the time in the world as a teenager to learn all the cool stuff, but now I just don't have time to play guitar. I pick up a guitar if I want to write something. I have all the skills I need to write the music I want, so I have no desire to get that good. It would be nice to be that good, but I don't have the time. It's very polyphia. Very, very polyphia. But that was another thing I really loved about Jrock music as well. It was a very unique collection of chords. See, that's why I liked Jrock, because culturally it was so far removed from Western rock and roll, which it was trying to emulate. Like Western metal, Western rock, and then a lot of them started doing new metal, like Deer and Grey started doing some new metal-y sounding stuff. The Gazette were more so like that, and so was Hyde. Hyde was very, very new metal sounding. And because they were trying to recreate a westernized style of music, and culturally Japan is very, very different. Even their approach to playing and singing are very, very different. They were attempting to get the Western sound, but they couldn't quite get it. There was something slightly off. And that slight change, that cultural affectation that was present in Jrock was what I was obsessed with. It was like listening to rock music from another planet. There's my boy! There's my boy! Oh boy. And now you too have just fallen in love with Miyavi. Oh my god. Goosebumps. It all comes back to you. You're 34 years old. You've moved on. You're not your obsessed teenage Jrock VK fan anymore. And then you see a video of Miyavi playing the guitar, ripping his clothes off, and you're like, oh, he comes right back. Like riding a bike. If you want some good recommendations for Miyavi songs, leave a comment that says, give me a Miyavi recommendation. I will reply with a random song for each of you. So you can go through other people's comments and see what I replied to them and check that one out. That's quite fun. I have a bunch of really great ones. This is why I always hated having long hair, man. You wash it, you ruin it. Perfect. Perfect Jrock look. Ugh. I'm so f***ing jealous. I could never get that. So what we just saw there was basically what I used to watch back in the day. Thankfully, even though YouTube was still in its infancy back then, there was a shit ton of Jrock fan cams uploaded. And I say fan cams, it was not just that. You see, Jrock, because it was like a product of the Japanese music industry, so there was always a shit ton of content to be consumed. They weren't just bands. They were personalities. They fed in to the obsession that people had with these characters. You know what? I might even react to some of it. I'm not even going to bring it up. If this video does well and you guys want some more, I will do a video reacting to the old shit I used to react to, but I will tell you what it was. A lot of these Jrock bands used to do a shit ton of promotional content, promotional videos for the label, for the band, for the tour. And they would get up to all sorts of shit. They had tour vlogs, most of them. And Miyavi even had a movie. So there was just a shit ton of content of J-Rockers, cute, attractive J-Rockers, pranking each other and being crazy and running around and being interviewed and just lots of crazy shit. Lots of like tour diaries, lots of shenanigans and hijinks and pranks. And there's like so much of it in order to cultivate this obsession. I think maybe K-pop's the same. There's always stuff there for the fans to consume, to enjoy. It'd be so insane to go back and rewatch like all the stuff I used to obsessively watch when I was a teenager. I could just listen to J-pop and J-rock all day, every day, and just be happy. There was all sorts of really weird J-pop stuff out there. It wasn't even like an artist or a band. They'd just be like a guy with a microphone just doing a dance and singing about something. I really hate the fact that, what was her name? Kyary Pamyu came out as a horrible file. Her diary about one of her underage backup dancers is fucking vile to read. But her songs were so catchy, man. Oh, man, they were so catchy. Kyary Pamyu, why? Bum, bum, way, bum, bum, way, bum, bum. What does it mean? Nothing! It means nothing. Was that extra pen? It is. Oh, you think goths, 80s goths, were the king of back-combed hair? No. No, you weren't. You have not seen 80s and 90s J-bands, J-rock bands. They were the kings of back-combed hair. This stuff. I used to watch that kind of stuff, right? The tour stuff, them being goofy and having fun and stuff like that. Hide died. It was really sad that he passed away. It was really awful. Bit of gacked. If you guys want to lose a large portion of your life, deep dive into gacked. You will sell all of your possessions in order to move to Japan just for the opportunity to be closer to gacked. Fortunately, I never fell into the gacked obsession hole. I did like Malice Miser, but I was never like a gacked obsessor, though there are a lot of them, and they are deeply obsessed with gacked
musicians that started in the late 80s.
That's Tasha.
Characterized by avant-garde fashion,
That's Tasha again.
hair, and makeup. Bands like Duran Gray, Malice Miser, and X Japan are some of the most famous. They wore punk or gothic brands like H&O Alto, but most notably had all their costumes handmade.
That's right. Most of their costumes are handmade. And I remember watching a documentary on one of Deer and Gray's tours, and their costume designers were talking about how they got their outfits together, because Deer and Gray always have a very specific look for every album and every tour. And the costume designer was talking about like the very specific lengths she had to go to in order to create their outfits that they wear once and never again. She was saying that there was this one specific fabric that she needed, and she said she looked everywhere. She couldn't find it. And then she went to like a small town in like the middle of nowhere, Japan, and there was a fabric vendor there, just a woman selling her fabric on the side of the street, and she was like, "Oh my God, this is the fabric I need for the outfit." That's the kind of lengths they go to.
Everything they wore could easily fit on any high fashion designer's runway. Who do you think's the most fashionable music?
Who do I think is the most fashionable music? That would have to be Kyo from Deer and Gray. That guy's constantly on it. He's a fancy boy. I dress like him. Why do you think I got this haircut? I mean, my hair's growing out. I need to get it cut. But everyone's just like, "You got the Edgar cut. Jake's got an Edgar." I got like the Edgar cut, quote unquote. I know that's what you Zoomers are calling it now. But I got that haircut because of Kyo from Deer and Gray. He had it, and he looked cool in it. He's my hero. Kyo is my hero. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning into this video. If you'd like to watch more, if you want to continue watching this exact video, just with extra minutes at the end, with all the swear words and all the music left in, click join to become a member, or click the link down below to head over to the Patreon, where you can watch the extended early access version of this video. I had a great day today. Boy, did I have a great day today, because I made it a great day. I'll catch all of you guys later. Bye-bye.